Greetings, I am Lies and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together! Dun dun dun! Okay, we are back and we are going to try and stop the devil!
Time to stop the devil.
Corazon is the only one who can stop the devil.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Did
you hear me, honey?
Long pause though. Let me think about it.
Book 18, Chapter 1, Breaking Chains.
Oh, we already did that. We did that in the last chapter.
We did. I'm the only one who can stop the devil.
Okay, she says it with a pause. That long pause. I'm long pause. Nadia, I feel like I'm missing something.
Donkey! Like that's what
Chick! Fiona! Donkey!
Yes. Mom! Honey!
Dad! Sweetheart!
The star looks at me with soft amusement in her eyes as Nadia and I process this new information.
So the star goes, well, I guess if you dumb it down a whole lot, sure, that'll work.
I don't right. That's what I just said, silly. You only hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You're my only hope.
Corazon Kenobi.
Help me, Corazon Kenobi. You're my only hope.
I really need your help, darling.
Darling, you need your own help, truly.
Oh, boy.
And what exactly do you mean by that?
Please be more specific.
You used those words, so I used them too.
I mean, you said them first.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Damn.
You know Corazon is special, Nadia.
And by special, I mean the devil owns them.
Oh, I mean not everyone can come back to life. It takes a special sort of vessel, a special sort of body.
So we're saying Astra may have tried this before and failed.
Oh.
That you have to actually
They got really lucky that the one person they all agreed to bring back
was actually capable of being
coming
brought back. That's what I was going to say. Based on based on what the star is saying here, it's like, what do you have? Oh, like a 5% chance that this will be a good fit.
Right?
And you're going, let me get all of my friends and acquaintances together to help me do this magic pull it out of your ass thing, and it might not even work.
Yeah.
And then we are special. The MC is special because they can actually come back to life. Based on what the star is saying.
A special sort of body. She reaches out and lightly squeezes my shoulder.
How the fuck did Lucio have the knowledge or the luck to choose a person to want to steal their body that had a special body?
That's probably because the devil might have told him. At least based on Julian's route. Remember, they were working more together.
I want immortality, devil. Well, only that body could give it to you, and you don't have that body. I'll get it.
Right? He got really lucky that somebody decided to bring someone back that just so happened. Why is almost convenient?
It's almost like plot convenience.
Which is totally fine. It doesn't mean that that's bad, because that can make for really interesting stories. But it's just what you do with it.
I would say it doesn't mean it's bad at all. And in fact, in real life, sometimes things look extremely plot convenient. And that's why you tell that story, because it was a wild set of happenings.
But the thing is, you need to realize is that is like one story out of a billion that went wrong, usually.
Well, the thing is
didn't do that.
The reason all of your stories seem so extraordinary, and going, well, how are the chances of that, is because the chances of that are what we're writing about.
Yes, exactly.
And going, there is a chance, and I'm writing about that.
Look, the chance, I found it. But that means that there are lots of other ones that didn't get told. Squeezes my shoulder. After you died, your original body was lost, Corazon. Cremated, yes? As if Corazon will know? What?
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 Excuse me, what? Okay, this is more information than you being dead.
Also, though, like, that's actually really interesting. So that means, like, Astra made you, and you are literally another person. There's no way. Or are you saying that you're somehow the same body, or like the same soul?
But a different body?
Right? So how much would that make you a different person?
I wonder. Also going, do we have a special magical body that's just been wandering around? And wild. Also, Lucio couldn't have made a deal about our body unless he was already dead, because we both died 3 years ago.
We died around the same time, so we would have had no clue.
No, because unless we would have been dead and brought back to life into the special body before he did his thing.
Right.
But I don't think that's how, I don't know what order we died in.
I don't know. Well, if they always change it anyway, because it sounds like you were cremated. I was like, do they do?
A mountain of corpses that we didn't even have time to bury properly.
So we burned them.
So did we burn them? That's not a mountain of corpses anymore. That's a pyre.
Yeah, that's a pyre.
So...
Cremated, yes? So to bring you back, your friend Astra had to make a deal for a new body.
Oh! He didn't create a body, he made a bargain to buy one. He went to the, like metaphysical shop and picked one out for you.
Oh!
And just had to pay the price. That sounds real interesting.
That sounds fascinating.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Specifically, the body of the fool.
Oh, he went into the Arcana and stole one of the Arcana and gave it to you?
How do you make a deal with an Arcana?
To get their
body
from
hey, can
them?
I use your body where you're supposed to not be able to physically show up or exist in the... How does that work?
Okay,
They've literally said that if the Arcana show up, all of reality explodes.
Solitary conspiracy here.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so for anyone who hasn't seen the Julian route, we have a
personal
head canon or a personal conspiracy that basically, if there was ever a prequel to this game, it would be Astra making and building the Arcana deck.
Right.
Okay, so let's say when he did that, he got access to all the Arcana, because of course he did. He basically went card captor Sakura and bound them all to a card in our world. So they're not actually there, but part of their essence is there, like a little doorway through the card, right?
Right.
And let's say, because of the anchor of the card, they can give off basically a huge chunk of their essence into our world without their actual selves going over, their consciousness.
Right.
So he's just like, hey, your corporeal manifestation in the other world is a body, but you don't really use it because you're a naive, basically empty slate. Can I have it and use it for this person? You'll get it back when they live their natural life. And the fool goes, sounds weird, but okay.
Right.
And since they are basically extremely naive, because the fool is not stupid or foolish so much as they are ignorant. They're untaught, uneducated. Usually that is, the way I understand that card is that they're basically at the beginning of their journey and they are empty of knowledge.
Yes.
And so they might make dumb choices only for lack of education, lack of awareness.
Right.
And so it doesn't mean they're deliberately foolish, like, oh look, I'll just step off this edge.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what happens if I do that? It's like it's more like a child.
Yeah.
And so
a lot of curiosity also with the
also
fool too.
going, that could also be why you lost all your memories. Not just because you died, but because the fool is a blank slate. So you had to enter a body that was a blank slate, even if it was the same soul. So the soul sort of shaped the body around to what you used to look like, theoretically, assumably.
Huh.
And instead, you had to start from scratch because that's the body you were in.
That also sounds wild. Can you just do that with any of the Arcana?
And going, would any of the other Arcana, because they're way more mature, theoretically, than the fool, ever give up their bodies?
Right.
And so we know that in Julian's route, one of them had their body stolen or transformed.
That was with death, yeah.
Uh-huh. I was going to say, but like, would they just willingly give it up? And when we say Astra made a deal, are we saying he tricked the fool?
Right.
Or made a fair deal?
Yeah, what, like, is that what everybody's like?
Because if his Arcana that he's attached to is a fox, traditionally seen as a trickster, did he basically trick the fool into giving up their body?
That would be really interesting.
Because, again, to make the Arcana, he basically had to make deals with all of them, or he had to trick them into some kind of bind.
Right, so that everybody would this will give you contact. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either he had to convince them that they wanted what he wanted. Hey, you should be a part of my deck. Or he had to either trick or coerce or power them into it.
Huh.
Can you imagine him, like, in Solitaire, if you made that a game, him having to defeat each one of them differently?
Right.
Basically, one's more of a test of the mind, one's more of a test of the will, one's more of, like, basically a test of friendship, that kind of thing.
Right.
For what they would be willing to join the deck for.
Right.
Be very interesting. It wouldn't be a dating game, but it'd be fascinating.
Yeah, I would be interested in seeing that. Honestly.
Theoretically, it could be a dating game because the MC would still be there because that's who he was in love with, as far as we know.
Right, especially based on the very beginning.
And then we would have to see him lose them, and that would be his character arc.
And then that would be the end.
Ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
The body of the fool. The body of the fool. What? What does that mean? It's not my body.
I mean, theoretically it belongs to you, except for since Lucio's using it, it belongs to him, so...
Currently. Oh, I didn't say that. The deal was fair and square. Lucio may have stolen it from you, but that doesn't make it his. Hang on. But plenty of people have stolen shit from people in this world.
And it makes it basically theirs. No, it's not theirs. They can use it and you can't take it back, but it's not theirs. No, honey. Honey, no.
That's not how that works.
Ownership is 9/10 of the law.
I was about to say, like, I'm a white person. I know about colonialism. That's not how that works at all.
Well, it's not still technically the white people's. They don't own it. They're just using it for now. But it's still...
Forever and continue.
No.
Continue taking more of it away.
Well, and we're not actually, we're taking it, but we don't own it. Oh my god. Okay, anyway, not his.
That is... Whoa. Still, it explains a lot. Why I was the only one Lucio could steal a body from.
Because I was the only one that had a supernatural body.
That's so hyper-specific, though.
Except for how do we know?
And again, it seems like in this one, the devil really had little to no contact with Lucio at all. Based on the other ones, we're like, yeah, they're clearly all kind of working together. The devil hates Lucio and finds him annoying as shit, but they're still working together. Like, the courtiers were still involved, and the courtiers were very much working with the devil. So, in this one, Lucio's off on his own.
Kinda, yeah.
Somehow now able to just yank your body from underneath you. Like, what?
But also this thing of going, why I was the only one. How do we know you were the only one?
What?
Do we know that he tried anyone else?
What?
Do we know that there is no one else like you?
I think that's very assumptive.
I think right here, Corazon is making a huge assumption of going, I was the only one.
Clearly I'm very, very unique.
You know what? I can see Corazon going, yes, I am that distinctive. Okay, now let's move on.
Right.
Done.
I already knew I was distinct. Move on.
Yes. Oh, perfect. That makes sense.
We're gonna dwell. All right, we dwell.
He would want my body.
Why?
Everyone wants my body.
And why it looks like me when I'm in it, and like Lucio when he's in it.
Because it's a blank slate.
Oh, it adjusts.
Because it's, again,
yeah.
The fool's body is an empty vessel.
Yeah, that's so...
That actually
I still
works.
can't understand why the fool would even bother.
Again,
also, if you're just like, why would I ever do this? Like, sometimes I swear some people do the fool as also just being like, I don't have any, motivation.
I don't have any opinions.
Yeah.
So some people do the fool as really stupid.
Yeah, I've seen that one too.
Also, just think of the fool as very childish.
No, I know that.
And, you can convince a child to try anything for a minute, but if they're committed after that, they can't help it.
Yeah. Like Lucio when he's in it.
Corazon, I know this is a lot to take in. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I'm not having an existential crisis.
No, it's okay.
It's fine.
If those are the only two options, I'd be like, there's a bit on my mind at the moment.
I
have some things to think about.
I have some questions to ask Asra about what he did and didn't teach me.
I definitely have some questions to ask Asra about why the fuck he did what he did and how he did it.
Right? I'm fine.
I'm fine.
What's our next move?
Yes. Corazon, no one would judge you for taking a moment to process this.
But you're assuming right now that I'm not okay, and that actually, that was a hint that I was supposed to not be okay?
You're also assuming that Corazon hasn't already taken a moment. Some people's moments are faster than others.
Well, and also some people go, I can't dwell, because if I dwell, I will be incapable of doing anything else. Well, I'm fine for right now. What I need to do is go, all right, I have this information, I don't know what to do with it right now, but what's our next move?
I was just
that's pretty much...
There's that, but there's also not even dwelling, just taking a moment to process it.
Yeah.
So, there have been situations even where you've seen me, and I've been in sort of a harrowing social circumstance, and I take a moment, and I make choices, and I move on. And you're like, how the fuck did you do that? I'm like, because in that moment, that is all I needed to choose about. Mm-hmm. Everything else, the consequences and the ramifications, weren't really relevant right in that second. Mm-hmm. Only the information and how it impacted right then. So you can deal with all of that later. A moment to process it was just the intellectual processing. Yeah. Done. And so Corazon has processed it.
Yeah.
Now, Corazon has not processed the full breadth and depth of what have you.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, that's not necessary right now.
I was about to say also, some people spend the rest of their lives trying to just process one thing, you know? True. It's okay. Process this. I shake my head, taking a deep breath. What good will that do? The devil will still be out there, still be a threat.
I think it would be fucking hilarious if your body didn't change when Lucio stole it.
I know.
It'd be so good.
I can think about what this means later, if it has to mean anything at all. And that's the other thing, too. Sometimes events are just what they are, and they don't really have a purpose or
they don't have any deeper meaning.
And actually obsessing over them really doesn't do you any good. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people go, what? Well, okay, I appreciate your trauma and I appreciate your experience. What about right now?
And also going...
Because that thing literally no longer exists anymore. It's happened. It's gone. Now what?
I was going to say, and it's important to process your feelings and to be aware of them, but, you can't change things.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's... All right.
If it has to mean anything at all.
And sometimes you don't have any feelings about it. And people go, no, but that was a really big deal. And you're going, I'm fine. And other people are going, no, it's a really big deal. And you're like, to you it is. I am okay. It's not hidden. It's not repressed. I'm just okay. And you are having a different reaction than me.
And that's okay. None of it will matter if the devil wins.
Also true. You never cease to amaze me. Corazon. So practical. I like that in a partner. Are we looking for a partner now?
Are we partnering?
Is that because you mentioned this a long time ago at the very beginning of the game, but we haven't discussed it further.
You really haven't, even though we were like, we're going to discuss things.
It was like,
completely went
shall we begin working towards this? And then we never went further.
Yeah, Ed. By the way, you still have to keep having conversations.
Just promise me, should you decide you want to talk about this later, you will come to me. Am I promising you as my partner or my countess? I need to know.
She reaches out and gently caresses my cheek. I close my eyes, enjoying the touch to some degree, but also really strongly disliking the fact because the fucking cat's here.
Because it's in public again.
I didn't like the cat touching me, and now I've got you petting me in front of the cat. Stop it.
I just want to rub the toe beans.
Corazon is right, you know. We need to deal with the devil.
It's very important.
The unique circumstances of your resurrection make you different. They make you special.
What I'm saying is, you weren't special before, but you are now.
Because basically, you are a load of shit, dear. I hate to tell you.
You would not, well, I mean, maybe not quite that bad.
No, you're like worms on shit. How about that?
Something like
maggots.
You're just unnotable.
You know, like maggots on shit.
Like not noteworthy.
Nah,
just not special. You know, just normal.
A rock near the shit. Cat, what are you doing? What?
Beside the litter box?
Beside the litter box? Yeah, litter box. Oh my, you don't get out much. What? Special. When you gained the fool's body, you gained their power as well. Not even Lucio could steal that away. But we don't have the body anymore, honey bun. And if the body was specifically from the fool, it doesn't matter.
So what she's saying is...
The body belongs to us, but we don't have access to the body right now.
But based on this, she's saying you gained the fool's body and the fool's power. And so you gained two things, and Lucio can only take one of them away. They're not actually tied to each other.
Interesting.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah,
because he can't steal the power, but he can steal the body. But also, in here, the fool's power has never been explained, so we don't know what power we have.
Yeah, we don't know at all. Yeah, I wonder if, like, the fool's power is just to be a Mary Sue. I'm sorry. Like, and I don't mean any harm by it at all. It's just going like, I will be able to basically solve all the problems.
And everyone will like me. Because honestly, every love interest goes, ooh,
yeah,
instantly.
They really do.
And even when you're in someone else's route, there's still people pining after you and going, you're hot as fuck.
Which is why I think they don't have them on screen.
Because they're all going, ooh. It would be freaking hilarious if when you picked a route, it went as basically a failed harem. So everyone else was still after you, but you weren't dating any of them.
Oh god, that'd be great. Lucio could steal that away. So, now that you know what you could do, what will you do?
But we don't know what we can do, other than you can defeat the devil. What power do I have?
What does that mean?
Also, though, I just think it'd be super hilarious to write a dating game where you have to choose a route, but all the other available options still hit on you just as much, but you can't go for it. Like your dialogue options are like, no, I'm committed to this person, even though I barely know them. I'm gonna explore with them. You know, it's fine. Wow, all these hot people are really hitting on me.
Right.
And then on each different route, it just rotates over, so only one person is the option, and everyone else is still interested, and you're just like, ah!
And will you do? Nadia clears her throat, straightening up to her full height.
Because she was crouched somehow. Because she reached over to touch you and they assume you're short.
Yes?
I don't know.
There's fire dancing in her eyes. Don't worry, she'll speak for me. I won't have an opinion here.
It's okay. Why? We ruined the devil's day. Of course. Because Corazon would not want to answer.
You, Nadia, I will answer for... Didn't Julian do this for us too?
Yeah.
I was really annoyed by it.
Happened.
Like,
the star is talking to the MC. The other character answers, basically showing that they're not super polite and that they're very basically proactive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't respect the flow of conversation or where the actions are actually directed because I'm either one, like Julian, really impulsive, so I'm going to blurt it out, or like Nadia, really in power, so I will answer because that's my right.
And the reason why I personally don't like this is because I feel like the relationship that the main characters have established with their love interests, as it were, in regards to the story itself, isn't that strong. So it wants to pretend it is, but I don't really feel it. Because there's a lot of things that I feel like are important in regards to a relationship and a conversation and, like, a communicative experience that just doesn't happen here. And they're so...
Having someone choose to speak for you is something that should be interacted with.
Yes, I'm like, because sometimes, yeah, you're like, I like that, you know, like, sometimes my friend will say things for me, and sometimes I'll say things for my friend, because there are some things we go, hey, I'm in a better space than you, I think I know how to put this in a way this person will understand. And if it's wrong, we can go, I don't agree with that, and you can actually jump in and you can actually interact with it more.
But a lot of times it's really accurate going, I've had this conversation with you before, I know what you're after.
Yes, exactly.
Or I know this part of you, I know what you're after.
Right, or I perceive basically probably how to put it in better words than you do, because you're in so much more of an either emotional state or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So I can help you.
Yep.
Now, again, that's where it's be like, then the character could go, or you can go, that's not entirely accurate. You could go, hey, let me say it, you know? Like, it could...
my only assumption here, as far as the structure of the game as a product is concerned, just stepping out into the real world, would be that the reason they have the love interest answer for you so often is so that the player can see the love interest more often.
Yes.
And it's not really a piece of Nadia's personality to specifically speak over you and answer for you. And they're not trying to specifically convey that she interrupts and takes away parts of the conversation that are directed towards someone else, specifically you, so much as that they're trying to allow the player to see the person they're crushing on more.
And that's totally fine.
And I don't, like, I appreciate if that's the goal, I can understand where they're coming from. But at the same time, it also feels odd to me. Because I like building a consistent character more than I like going, here, look at the hotness again.
Right.
Like, when I put characters on screen, it's not just to go, yes, and see them be hot more. Even though I do have an array of hot characters.
And largely how I draw them is being hot, but they are still a character,
But the thing is even my NPCs, they really are there about performing a function and being a consistent personality more than anything else.
Yeah.
Of course. As long as my partner agrees. Oh, we are now officially partners. She's been stated it.
Oh.
Cornerstone.
Winky wonk.
Wink wonk.
Wink wonk.
Wink wink.
Honk honk. Oh, I like this plan.
This is a fine plan. Let's ruin his day. Does he have days?
Does he have days? Does he have nights? Does he have experiences? Does he know what time is?
Does time exist here? Oh, time moves differently here. So what's a day?
So what does day mean to you? If time moves differently, that must mean that time exists as a concept. So do the Arcana altogether make time? Can we have some philosophical discussion?
Hang on.
What is time?
It's basically been evening or night the entire time we've been here. So is there a day?
Nadia laughs and leans over to kiss the corner of my mouth.
And I just stand there.
I just put up with it.
Leans over to do it. Does she do it, though? It doesn't say leans over and kisses. It says to kiss. It sounds like you would get to interact with it, but then they don't write whether you do or not.
That's interesting, because that's actually a good point. So, the thing is, you guys, I understand usually a lot of people will use language like that to mean they did kiss, but lean over to kiss and then stopping doesn't mean that they do kiss. So, that's actually where sometimes, like, people have actually debated in stories whether or not they actually kiss.
That's also sometimes where you interject, where they lean over to kiss so-and-so, and the next line is, and so-and-so moves out of the way, or such and such happens. It's usually where the next line is a piece of action, changing what their intention was. They lean over to pick up the cup of water, and then instead... And so I'm like, she leans over to kiss the corner of your mouth, and then what?
Right.
And then instead says, I thought you might.
Teasingly, closely
Gets
to
really
the corner of
your mouth. I thought you might. So,
leans away.
In order to stop him, stands up, we need to isolate him. Wait, what?
He's already isolated.
Hold on, what? How did you come up with that at all?
What?
Based on what the star said that only you can defeat him, we need to isolate him.
What?
The devil is only as powerful as those who follow him, says Whomst.
What?
Alone he cannot hope to stand against both of us.
What? There's no one else working with him. There's no one else in this route. There's no one else working with him.
I guess
we've never seen the courtiers Lucio has talked, like, I think they mentioned that Lucio made deals with the devil, but that doesn't mean I'm working/following him. Because remember how the devil said, I want Lucio?
Yeah.
Because he's a fucker?
Yeah.
Then, what is going on?
Who's following him?
Who's following him? Either, Nadia?
Who is following him?
Whomst?
He's only
Is this information that you have that you've kept to yourself this entire time?
Or if you're saying the devil's only as powerful as those who follow him, and no one's following him, alone, which he is right now, he cannot hope to stand
Except
against
that she
both
said
of us.
we need to isolate him, which means that he's got connections to someone's.
Unless you're saying we need to isolate him, which he already is, we need to keep him that way?
It's a little redundant. What do you think?
Question mark?
What?
I don't understand.
That doesn't make any sense.
Also going,
Like, and the thing is that I understand
again,
if you're going to go within the context of the story, everybody just assumes the devil has connections to these people. But the thing is if you're going to change the characters between each route, and you need to take them individually based on the knowledge and the information they present to you in each route.
because it's different.
Because they are different.
Then who's involved
with the devil?
Next, do we trust the star? Do either of us here believe what the star has said? Because if we do, it's not we against both of us, because we both
Nadia
of us
is
can't
useless.
beat him.
Yeah, it's
she
just
can't
me.
do anything. Only we can, according to what the star just said, and both of us confirmed.
It sounds like
So only
Nadia
Corazon can beat
just...
him? Yeah, only Corazon can beat him. So only I can beat him. Yeah, that's correct.
And then Nadia goes, so we'll both beat him. Corazon, you will be useless.
And the star, is that what I said?
I do not... You know what, darling? I don't think I said that.
You know what? I guess that's fine.
It's fine.
As long as Corazon's there, it's fine.
This makes no sense.
I don't get it.
Wow. Sounds like a plan! Maybe you should start with those nasty courtiers.
But the courtiers aren't connected to the devil in this route. At all.
Unless only now they're connected.
Suddenly?
Suddenly?
Maybe once she went, you're all under house arrest, they all went, well, I'm going to go make a deal with the devil now. Because I'm angry.
My whole brain hurts right now.
Except for, obviously Volta wasn't in trouble because she was at the ball.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't be involved with the devil at all. And Valdemar doesn't exist.
I mean... Oh my god, I don't even know. My head hurts.
Why would you suggest starting with those nasty courtiers? Also, again, you're not going, no, the two of you don't need to do this. Again, it's only Corazon. Also, wouldn't he be isolated in his own realm unless they are in his realm somehow?
Right? What?
The courtiers?
Nadia, we have to isolate him! Why he has people involved?
I know.
What is this?
Sounds like you're on the same page as me, Nadia. Perfect.
Perfect, you've suddenly got back to where we are.
It's true. Volta led us straight to the devil. And you yourself said they didn't feel human, Corazon. Yeah, Volta did know where the room was, except for why was the devil in the summon the fool room?
I don't know.
I'm just going to call it steal the fool's body room.
The body of the fool room.
Oh, it's the body of the fool room. There's a body of the fool in here.
I guess, like, it could be sort of a plan of going, well, clearly they're strange. But again, like, I've asked that question. Is it diegetic that the courtiers look inhuman to everyone else or just to us? And the thing is we just assume that that's normal in the world. Like, really, I would not be able to I'd be like, wow, it's like, this person has really neat hair. Hey, friend, that person has fucking pointy teeth and pointy ears. That's cool as hell. And they would go, what? And I'd be like, they
look super cool. I love their spiky teeth and goat eyes.
Right? And then, what? And then you'd find out.
And you're like, you know, the sharp, pointy ears on that person? Their ears are round. I know what you're talking about. Goes to someone else. You see the sharp, pointy ears on that person? Don't they look cool? What are you talking about?
Yeah, and then you'd find out that
no one else can see it.
Yeah, and you'd be like, am I crazy?
And then everyone else would go, because it's a story, honey, are you okay? And Astro would go, don't worry about it, like a mysterious idiot.
This is so confusing. Like, I remember it, but it's...
It wasn't in this route.
Not really.
I suspect they've been involved in this from the beginning.
I mean, you yourself literally went, he's involved with someone.
So
and then you went, he's involved with someone? He's involved... I feel like I'm in a play, in a musical. So he's involved with someone. He's involved with someone. He's involved with someone. He's involved with... He is involved with someone.
Oh, he's involved with someone.
He's involved with someone.
Yeah.
And the whole chorus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, go ahead.
So I guess what they're doing in this route is rather than show any of it actively, they're much more going, you can see it, look back on it retroactively and go, even though it wasn't an immediate part of the story, because they were all weird AF, it means that this is completely logical, and here we go.
Okay.
Ah, yes, that's what that means.
Right.
Now, we didn't make that connection, but the star, who is magical, can just give it to us. But again, only Corazon can stop the devil. Well, we are going to do this then, can't we?
You suspect right! So, what you gonna do about it? Are you gonna deal with it in the next episode?
I say Nadia doesn't need to deal with it at all. Don't ask Nadia what she's going to do about it if you just told her she can't do anything. So we'll have to find out about that, as you said.
Yeah, in the next one. So, thank you very much, everybody, for being here. If you like us, which you better, please, feel free to interact with the video, like, comment, subscribe. It does a lot for the channel in regards to YouTube algorithm. And then you can also go check out the Ko-Fi and the Patreon and the Twitch. That's right. Yeah. And you know what? I have been Scandal.
And we also have a Twitter that we announce stuff on, too. And I have been Liz.
And it was great playing with you. Bye!